Good morning from this beautiful view behind me. Nice weather, cup of coffee. Life is great. Let me tell you about a profound realization I had a few days ago. And this realization, I think if you don't realize this, your whole life will be a rat race running towards something. Like 99.9% of people in the Western world don't realize this, and I think it really dictates the quality of your life. It can make your life way less enjoyable, and it's really one of the most important things to realize and one of the most destructive things if you don't realize it, and it can really dictate your entire life. If you watch this video to the end, you have a very good understanding of this problem, this mindset, this destructive thing I'm talking about. And I hope you can embody this, live from this, and create a way better life. But let me tell you a story about myself first, and then I'll make the point clear with this. It is needing something from life. That you need to have something from life, that's the problem. And this sounds a bit weird because you're like, I need something from life. I need to eat. I need my drink. I need my house. I need my shelter. I need to make money, stuff like that. Of course, you need that. But what I more mean is you need something from life in order to feel good, or in order for life to give you some type of feeling that you're really longing for, that you really want to be feeling. So, quick story about myself. For me, it was really with money. So I was in a period of my life where I was an entrepreneur from, I think, when I was 17. I started when I was 17. And I was with my friends in an office, and I was constantly working to get to this goal of 10K a month. Basically, because everyone online said if you make 10K a month, you're gonna be so happy. So I really thought, all since I was young, like, okay, I need this money, and then I'll finally feel good, then I'll finally feel happy, then I'll finally feel the way I know I'm supposed to be feeling. So I was running towards this money. I was constantly stressed, and I was constantly not enjoying my life. I was discontent with how my life was, how I was feeling, everything, and I was only focused on this goal of making 10K a month. And then eventually I hit a month where I did 10K, and I would say I was less happy in retrospect than the moments where I didn't have any money and I was just with my friends. And in this period where I was so focused on this future goal, where I thought this was going to make me happy, I forgot to enjoy the entire process. And now I realize back from it, like, wow, this process was so nice. I bought my first car. It was a fucking crack car. It was like the air conditioning didn't work, so we had like a thing you use in the shower to get the windows, to get the steam off the windows. And I was driving in the winter on the highway, and every 10 seconds I had to do with this window cleaner. Otherwise, I couldn't see anything. So it was the worst car ever. But I had this first experience with my friends in the office, building towards something, and I didn't enjoy it at all because I was constantly discontent and I needed to get to this goal. Also, I had this with, I need to have a girlfriend and then I'll be happy. I need to have a girlfriend, then I'll be happy. Well, now I have a girlfriend and I'm happy, but it's not that my girlfriend made me happy. Like, it's amazing, and she's amazing, and if she's watching this video, I love you very much. But life doesn't work like that. That something outside of yourself will give you this feeling you are looking for. And on the other hand, what's very important also to realize is it can be two sides. So it can be the first side, where it is like, I need something out of life and then I'll be happy. Or I need to get rid of something, how I feel or what I think, or something in my life, and then I'll be happy. I need to get rid of this pain or annoying feeling or emotion in my chest, and then I'll feel free, then I'll feel happy. Oh, I need to get rid of my current life situation, something in my current life situation I need to get rid of, and then I'll be happy. So, or you're striving towards something, or you are rejecting something. And in both scenarios, you think if this outside world around you changes, it will give you some type of feeling you are longing for. Why are we all longing for this feeling? Why are we all having internally this drive for this feeling? Because we know that we can feel better. We don't feel how we're supposed to feel. We are a shell of the person that we could be because we are stuck in our minds and stuck in our emotions all of the time, basically. And when we were children, we didn't have this. And then we felt like so natural, so enlightened, so free. And we know that we are supposed to feel like that and that we lost this. And there's some intuition in us that knows this. But the problem what our mind does, it projects this longing for this feeling of knowing how we're supposed to feel on some future where the circumstances in the world will be different, and then we will get this feeling. But that's not true, because you've already achieved goals and achieved things that you thought were going to make you happy. You know, did it make you happy? The millionaire who needs a million and will be happy, if he achieves the million, he wants 10 million. Why is that? You thought that the reality around him changed, so that will make him happy. But that's not true, because okay, let's say this is an interesting example. Let's say you think, I just need 2,500 euros per month and then I'll be happy. What is this? Is this the truth? Is this the ultimate truth? Is it somewhere written down in history where it's like, okay, this is the ultimate truth. If Boris makes more money, he will be happy. Or is it just a thought in your head? Is it just a story about the world which you tell yourself, or you feel like is being told to you? Well, it's not really a big difference. It is a story, basically, right? We can all agree on that. It is a story in your head. So you make this story in your head, and the basic and the structure of this story is, if I get to this, if I achieve this, I will feel better, because right now I don't feel good. So if reality changes and we achieve this goal, this story structure and these thought patterns in our head are still there. We haven't worked on that. We haven't let go of that. We haven't realized that. So this thought and story structure just stays there, this structure, but the input will be maybe a little bit different. So now, if I get 1 million, I'll be happy. Then you get the 1 million. The whole story structure of I need to achieve this to be happy is the same, but then it's going to be 10 million. So the structure is the same, the content is different. So the truth in this is, if reality changes, the way we think it's going to make us happy will not make us happy, because this story and thought structure is still in our minds. Okay, that's clear now. So the only way we can change this is that we've identified that this structure is a thought, so it's not reality. So if reality changes, it has nothing to do with this thought, basically. So the only way to change our reality, literally, is to change this thought structure. So how do we change this thought structure? How do we let go of this thought structure? That's a very interesting question, because a lot of people would go on a spiritual journey now. They would be like, okay, I know nothing in the world can make me happy. I know nothing in the outside world, in reality, will give me this happiness I am longing for inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reject reality, reject materialism, reject goals, reject striving, and I'm going to become enlightened through meditation and practices like yoga in order to feel good enough. But do you see that this is literally the same structure but with different content? Because now it's not, I need to achieve this goal and then I'll be happy. Now and I'm going to work for that. Now it is, oh, I need to achieve enlightenment, and I need to do this yoga and fucking practices in order to get it. And then you are in the spiritual trap, spiritual journey trap, which is again the same, literally. Only now it is trying to achieve enlightenment instead of trying to achieve worldly success. And I would say this trap is even more dangerous, because you can think now you're very spiritual and you're making spiritual progress. Well, that doesn't exist, spiritual progress. So what state are we looking for? How do we get to this state of not needing anything out of life? And what happens when we do? When we don't need anything out of life anymore, that means we don't need to change reality in order to feel good. We don't put a demand on reality for us to feel different or to feel good. So our thoughts have stopped with the illusion of thinking it needs to work towards something to make us feel good and to make us feel safe. So we move from a place where we feel safe, where we feel love for ourselves, where we accept reality instead of resisting it. Because in this thought structure of needing something from life or wanting to get rid of something in life, that means we are rejecting reality. We are not accepting it, because we are rejecting how we're currently feeling in order to find something in our mind or find something in the world to make us feel better or different. So we are rejecting this feeling of who we are, because what you feel and what you think and the life around you is what you are right now. So it's all about acceptance. And from this acceptance, you think maybe, oh, I'm going to go into a passive state of not achieving any goals. And a lot of people would be afraid of this. This is a very big concern. A lot of people say this, like, oh, I don't want to be into this spirituality and blah, 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 because then I don't have this force or urge for creation anymore. That's completely nonsense. It's not that you become passive the moment you are accepting reality as it is. It is rather you are accepting reality as it is, and this whole new view, this whole new lightness of life opens up, and you can create something from excitement. Just think about this story when you were a child. Let's say you wanted to build a shelter. I don't know if that's the correct word in English, but like a place where you can hang out inside with your friends, and you build that, in the woods. Let's say you were with some friends and you were building a shelter. And it took like maybe a whole weekend to build this shelter. You were gathering the wood, you were working together, you were laughing, you were like, how are we going to build this thing? What do we need? What do we need to buy, or what do we need to gather to make this shelter nice so we can smoke some weed in there? Well, that's maybe when you're a little bit older. But let's say when you were a child. So you were, let's think about the mindset at that point. Were you thinking like, fuck, I don't feel that good, I need the shelter to be done, and then we'll finally be happy with the result and we can relax in this shelter? Or was it like, oh, we have this goal of how we want this shelter to be, but we are just enjoying the process. We're just not even thinking and obsessing about the end result because we think it's going to make us happy. We're just enjoying the process of building the shelter, being with friends, laughing, building the shelter, and then the shelter is done. And then most of the times when the shelter is done, you hang out in it once or twice and you realize it was the fun part was building it. So why don't we view our goals and view life that way? Okay, we have a goal. Of course we need to have a goal, because if we didn't have the goal of building the shelter wouldn't be built. So we need a goal to have a direction in order to know where we're going. But we don't need to obsess over this goal, because we don't think anymore that it's going to bring us something we don't already have. So it's all about present creation, as in you're present in the process of creation. You're excited about what you want to build. you're excited about this project you want to build. Maybe you do it with friends, and you're really enjoying just the process of building it, of creating it. And you can have discipline from excitement, not discipline from, oh, I need to fucking work hard, and finally then I'll be at the end of the road, I'll feel some type of happiness coming to me. No, that's not it. So we go to a place of acceptance. And I'm talking about acceptance of the internal, because the external is a mirror for the internal, right? So the acceptance is about the internal. It's about accepting the parts of yourself that you are not willing to accept yet, that you haven't been willing to look into the eyes. Maybe you have some anxiety, maybe you have some doubts, maybe you have some depression, maybe it's very intense even, maybe you have these memories about your past, about your trauma that dictate your life, and you're really resisting that. It's time to look into it and to accept these parts of yourself that you've not been willing to look into the eyes, because you think if you resist them, you can get rid of them. That doesn't work. Whatever you resist persists. So how long are you willing to play this game of resistance towards the part of yourself that you're not willing to see? Like, is it gonna take you a whole lifetime? Do you really want to live a whole lifetime in resistance of these parts of yourselves, where you are neglecting how you're really feeling in order to be in a fucking illusion and think that something will bring you some kind of happiness one day? Because that's how most people are living, and it's really a tragedy. And I'm telling you, when you look these dark parts of yourself in the eyes, which seem dark, is just really so much love that opens up, so much more freedom, so much more lightness that opens up, because at these moments you let go of these parts of yourselves, then this whole fucking heavy thought structure can also fade away, because that's built on the emotion. So the only thing we're here for right now is we look these parts in the eyes of ourselves and of our past and of these memories and of this pain, to really embrace it with love, with self-love, with acceptance. Not through force. You don't need to self-love. You don't need to accept it. You may accept it. And eventually you may be grateful for it. And you see how these parts of yourself that once you confronted them and once you embraced them, made you in the person that you needed to become. And that's the journey of life. So a deep message about not needing anything from life anymore, because you've accepted who you are. And it sounds corny, but it is a very deep realization I'm sharing. And I hope you can experience this for yourself. I hope this relates to you. Maybe you've experienced a time where you felt that you don't needed anything from life, and how light that must have felt. Let me know if you have any experience with this, and I'll check you on the next one.